Hi everyone, my name is Julia, and today I am bringing you a Q&A. This is the first Q&A I have ever done, and what it has taught me so far is that I need to get a camera that is not my phone, because trying to get the questions from Instagram onto somewhere that is not my phone so that I can read them while filming was an adventure, but I got them. So I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me questions for this video. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I am at jules.reads.books. I'll put it on the screen wherever, and it's always linked down below. So anyway, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much. If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for supporting me. I think we're at about 250 subscribers, which is very exciting to me. I know it's like a tiny number, but I am so excited. I just started this channel maybe a month ago or so I'm just so excited and grateful to everyone who takes the time to watch my videos, who likes and comments and stuff like that. You guys are the best, and just thank you. So let's just get started with the questions. So the first question is, what genre do you find yourself reading the most this year? And I'm going to have to say, without a doubt, fantasy. I think any year since I started reading, I just read the most fantasy. It's my favorite genre, and yeah, so that's my answer. Specifically YA fantasy, but yeah, fantasy. Okay, next question. Dream job. That is a complicated question. So if we're like discounting money, like money doesn't count in this situation, I would probably say an author, or it would be absolutely amazing to just do like this, like blogging and doing YouTube like for a living. That would be amazing. But yeah, an author. I've wanted to be an author since I was a kid. But it's hard to make money as an author. So we'll see if that happens. Yeah. What is your favorite book to film adaptation? I gotta say The Hunger Games, without a doubt. If you guys haven't seen my recent video, I talk about the Hunger Games adaptations in it, and my controversial opinion that I like the movies better than the books. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, I just think that they're better than the books. I think that the Hunger Games story translates better as a movie, because if you think about it, like the story of the Hunger Games is that these children are forced to go into this arena and kill other kids. Not only that, but the entire country watches it like a reality TV show for entertainment. So I just think that there's something so, I don't know, so intriguing and somewhat sickening about watching the movies and being entertained by children killing other children. Now, of course, it's not real, it's just a movie, but still, you know, it just, to me, it just signifies the reality that the Hunger Games could be an actual thing and people would watch it. And so anyway, I just think those movies are so powerful. I, of course, love the books a lot, but I like the movies a lot more. So yes, also one thing that is also somewhat controversial is that I can't believe I'm about to say this, I like the Percy Jackson movies. Okay, I guess I shouldn't say that. I like the first Percy Jackson movie, The Lightning Thief. It's not accurate to the book, like at all. So I don't think it's a good adaptation in that way, but I just think, guys, it's a bad movie, but it's one of those movies that is so bad that it's good. You know what I mean? Like, I watch it when I'm sad to laugh at it, and it makes me feel better. So I like the Lightning Thief movie. I enjoy it. I think it's hilarious. I watch it for comfort. Also, it's the closest thing we have so far to a Percy Jackson adaptation. So if that's all I can get of Camp Half-Blood on the screen, then for now, that is what I will take. All right, next question. Are you going to dye your hair another color? Yes, I am. I am soon, very, very soon, dyeing my hair purple, and I'm very excited. What do you like to do on your free time other than read? and then it has the smirking emoji, the one's like, you know? I'm not sure what that emoji means. But honestly, when I'm not reading, I'm either like just chilling and scrolling through TikTok or watching TV or something like that, or I'm working on my YouTube, my Bookstagram, my blog, my book talk. It takes a lot more time than I think some people think it does. So that's what I do with my free time. I am not a very interesting person. In the winter, I fence because the fencing in my school is a winter season sport. So in the winter, I am part of the fencing team. But other than that, I don't do much. Schoolwork. I do a lot of schoolwork. What do you listen to music? I listen to all kinds of music. Of course, lately I've been obsessed with Taylor Swift. If you haven't listened to Taylor's version, you haven't lived. Wow, it's amazing. If you were wondering, my favorite song from the vault is Mr. Perfectly Fine. So good. So good. What a bop. So I've recently been listening to that, and other than that, I listen to kind of everything. I listen to a lot of pop. I listen to some classic rock like Jethro Tull, Led Zeppelin, the Eagles, those kinds of people. I listen to everything except for country and rap. Yeah. How did you get into reading? I have been a reader since I can remember, basically my whole life, since I could read. Since I was a kid, my parents really encouraged me reading. They will buy me whatever books I want and stuff like that. So I'm really lucky that they're able to do that. But yeah, I mean, without them, I would not be a reader because they encouraged me to read all the time. So yeah, basically, since I could read, I have been a reader, but when I was probably about 15, I started reading a lot more. So there you go. Been reading my whole life. Okay, next, do you have pets? Yes, I do. I have 2 dogs. Their names are Nixie and Stella. What's the first book you remember reading that made you feel represented? So I talked about this a little tiny bit on my Instagram story once. I don't remember what book they're introduced in. I don't remember the order of the Mortal Instruments books either. I know that City of Bones is first and City of Heavenly Fire is last, and that's all I got for you. But in the Mortal Instruments series, Helen and Aileen are very much minor characters, but they were the first time I had ever seen 2 women together in a book. And so reading that was very special to me, even though it was not their story at all and they are not major characters in that. That was the first time I really felt represented, was reading about Helen and Aileen. So there you go. Major interests if college is your plan. College is my plan. If you don't know, I'm a senior in high school, which if you don't live in the US, that means I'm at the end of my road. I graduate in June and I move on to college, or university, as they call it in Europe, which I love. I'm going to start calling it university. Anyway, my major that I applied to college with was biochemistry. So that is what I'm planning on majoring in college. Favorite animal and why? My favorite animal is elephants. First of all, because they're freaking adorable. And second, because they're super smart and they remember everything. And when I was a kid, my, what do they call it? Lovey? You know how every kid has that one toy that they're very attached to? Mine is an elephant. I still have it. I'll show you. Mine was this guy. He used to be a lot less sad and more stuffed, but he's got a hole, and so his stuffing keeps falling out. But yes, this is the very elephant that I had as a child, and the reason that I love elephants so much. When did you join the book community? On my current platform, I joined the book community almost 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years this summer when I joined with my blog and my Instagram. But I've actually been a part of the online book community on and off for many, many years. I started my very first Bookstagram back in middle school, and it was called Books Before Boys. If only we knew how true that would become. But yeah, that was 7 years ago, and over the years I've had many different accounts and handles as I have flowed in and out of posting, and yeah. but my current account and like platform, Jules Reads Books / Stormy Reads, since summer of 2019. So there you go. What are some of the best sapphic books? I really need recommendations. I've got you. I so got you. If I could do a whole video on this, and I probably will eventually, but until then, here are some of my favorites. Girls of Paper and Fire. Definitely look up the trigger warnings before you read this one because it has some heavy stuff, but it is so good. We have We Set the Dark on Fire, which I feel is a very underhyped. I see some people talking about this, but like not a lot. But this book is also sapphic, obviously, and it is, I'm trying to think about how to describe it. It's a dystopian. Anyway, yes, We Set the Dark on Fire, sapphic, dystopian, very, very cute. These Witches Don't Burn. This is a urban fantasy about witches, and it is really quick and easy to read and very, very cute. Final two recommendations are my ultimate absolute faves. First we have Leah on the Offbeat, which is the sequel to Simon Versus. Technically you don't have to read Simon Versus to read this, but you will be spoiled for it if you don't, so there's that. But this one is so, so cute. Then my favorite, which I'm currently rereading right now, is Her Royal Highness, and this one is a boarding school trope where a ordinary girl falls in love with the Princess of Scotland. So yeah, and the audiobook for this one is amazing. I'm reading it right now by audiobook and it's really good. So those are some recommendations, but I probably will do a whole video on sapphic recommendations, so look for that. Okay, how did you first get into BookTube / any other book platform? So the first platform I ever had was Bookstagram, which is Instagram, bookish Instagram. And I had that, like I said, back in middle school. I honestly can't really remember how I first got into it. I think I just started following Bookstagram people on like my main account, and then I was like, hey, this is cool, like I want to do that. And so then I did. It's not a very interesting story, but it's the truth. In a movie about your life, who would play you? My sister and I actually talked about this recently, and I was thinking Alexis Bledel, who, if you don't know, she's Rory Gilmore in Gilmore Girls. She's definitely a lot prettier than me, but I think she looks somewhat like me, and I like her. I like her in Gilmore Girls. I think she's a good actress. What is your least read genre? Definitely horror / thriller. I read a very few horror thriller books. I've read House of Hollow recently, which I absolutely love, but that's basically the only one I've ever read, and it scared the crap out of me. What's a color you'd never dye your hair? I don't know. Maybe like bright red orange. You know, like I don't think I would do that. What book got you hooked on reading? When I was a kid, it was Magic Tree House and Ginny B. Jones. And then when I got older, it was a series of unfortunate events, which they had all 13 like books in my school library. And it took me an entire school year to read them all, but I did do it. What are your favorite and least favorite movie adaptations? So I've already talked about my favorite, which is Hunger Games. My least favorite, I would say Percy Jackson, except for, like I said, it's so bad that I actually love it. Other than that, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like other movies that have been adapted that I've seen. Maybe if I could say Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters, because that one's so bad that it's just bad. It's not even good bad. What book got you into reading YA? Probably The Heroes of Olympus, because I would consider Percy Jackson is definitely middle grade. It starts when he's like 11 or 12, so that is a middle grade book, but The Heroes of Olympus starts when Annabeth and Percy are 16, 17, and some of the other characters are around 15-ish, so I would consider that to be young adult. And that is probably the very first YA book I read. Where do you want to travel? A lot of places. I would love to go to Greece, because of Percy Jackson, and I love Greek mythology, but also because Mamma Mia. I'm obsessed with Mamma Mia, and I would love to just have a very Mamma Mia-esque vacation. I think that would be so fun. I also really want to go to Rome. I've actually been to Rome, but we only spent 1 day there the last time I went. So I would love to go and spend some more time there because it has a lot of history and I really liked it there. I also really want to go to London, which I have been to inside the airport, which doesn't count, but I've been to Heathrow. I would love to go to London and actually leave the airport, and I would die to go to Scotland. What is a book you ended up loving way more than you would have expected? I think I'm gonna say probably Legend for this one. Legend by Marie Lu. I loved Legend so much. So I didn't expect to love it that much. I think that was the first book that I was ever really like crazy obsessed with, and to this day I have only read those books once, but I think about them all the time, which is wild. What is your favorite book / series with queer rep? I have to say Simon Versus is a really good one. That one I always say because it helped me through sometimes, and I love that one so much. Other than that, I also love Her Royal Highness, which I recommended. What was the first book / series you read that had some form of queer rep? That was definitely The Moral Instruments, which I talked about earlier, but the very first queer couple I ever read about was Magnus and Alec. And for that reason, they hold a very special place in my heart. I love Malik. How old were you when you started loving books? I talked about this a bit before, but I would say I really started loving to read when I was about 15. Before that, I always kind of read maybe a book or so a month, but after that, I don't know, some sort of switch flipped in me and I just started reading like crazy, and I haven't stopped. Who was your first celebrity crush? This one's from Pooji. She's one of my friends on Bookstagram. She signed her name, so I just thought she would want you guys to know. I don't know. My first celebrity crush... Oh my god, it's kind of embarrassing, but it's also my current celebrity crush. Kristen Stewart. Let me explain. When I was in middle school, I had a friend who loved Twilight, and I didn't really, but she was like, you have to watch the movies. I was like, okay. So we watched the movies together. I wasn't even crushing on like hot Kristen Stewart. I was crushing on like Bella Kristen Stewart, so I had low standards back then, but yes. Okay, so that is all of the questions that I got. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you if you've submitted questions on my Instagram, and if you made it to the end of this video, put a question mark emoji in the comments, and be sure to like, thumbs up this. If you're not subscribed to me already, hi, there's a red button down there and it says subscribe. Anyway, yeah, if you're not subscribed to me already, please hit that button, and if you want to make sure that you never miss one of my videos, hit the little bell, and then you will be notified every single time I post a video. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day or night. Oh, and this is your reminder to stay hydrated. Drink water, children. Okay, bye.